Good afternoon. My name is Jamal Carter. I'm calling on behalf of the team Hidden in the History Books. I have my interview on the line, Miss Barbara Bryant. Miss Barbara, before we go ahead and start the interview, I'm just going to go ahead and get your consent that I do have the authorization to go ahead and record you and go ahead and post this interview.
Yes.
Okay. So I do thank you so much for your thank you so much for your answer. So we're going to go to start the interview. Basically, this interview is going to be on Miss Barbara Bryant's experience with growing up during integration and segregation. So, Miss Bryant, just go ahead and start off. How was it? How was it? Being born into segregation.
I was born in 1955. That was the year that Rosa Parks did not give up her seat on the bus, which started the bus boycott. Then Martin Luther King came in '63 with his march, and then we had the Detroit riots in '67. And I wasn't a part of any of that because, well, first of all, I was too young, and second of all, I didn't live in a black neighborhood. I lived in a white neighborhood, and black and white people didn't associate back then.
Okay. So being born in a segregated town, did you like? Did you feel any type of way towards the color change?
I didn't feel any kinds of way towards black people at all. Like I said, I didn't have any interaction with them not until I was in I'd say middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Then I met some black people, some friends, and through some friends, and I got to hang out with them for a little while. And I didn't really have much interaction with black people until I moved to Kentucky.
Okay. Okay. And around what time do things start happening? What city were you were born in? You said you were born in Detroit.
Yes.
Okay. So around what time do things start happening and start integrating?
Uh, from my knowledge, I would say probably the late '60s, early '70s, they started getting a little bit better, but not too much. I mean, it was a very slow process, very slow.
Okay. No, I definitely.
Started getting a little bit better in the '70s, and then it just kept progressing more and more and more. But yeah, back then you didn't really mix with each other.
Okay. I definitely do understand that. And did the integration prove to be better or worse during that time when it first started happening versus from 1955, like when you said with Rosa Parks, when that bus, everything started with her going down to the 1970s, like you just said?
Um, well, it was bad at first. Like I say, people didn't want change. White people didn't want change. White people didn't want about black people to have anything, have any power, any knowledge, anything. They wanted to keep them under, and so it was hard for them to give up anything. But so it was rough. It was rough at first. It was rough for a while.
Okay, no, I definitely do understand that. And how was your actual personal feelings toward the integration?
I welcomed the integration. I had a father and a stepmother who were racist, and they would talk about black people. They talk about Hispanics, and I didn't understand why. I didn't understand why they were being so cruel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad I didn't get that mentality from them.
Exactly.
I think it's better. I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it is still happening.
Okay, that is good. It's good to hear. And were you around any other blacks during the time they started the actual integration, or when they actually were segregated?
No, that's when I was young and living in a white neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you weren't around any blacks during the segregation or the integration, correct?
Not the segregation. No, I was too young.
Okay, but when they started getting more started integrating, that's when you started interacting more
Yes,
with them.
when I moved to Kentucky, I met a black family, and I started becoming friends with them, and then I started hanging around them and their friends, and that's how I became friends with a lot of black people.
Okay, okay. And how did it feel? How did it feel going into school and seeing only one color?
It didn't really feel anyway because that's all I knew. That's just the way it was. You lived in a white neighborhood if you were white. You went to a white school if you were white, and it was just all I knew. And I didn't really realize how racist the world was until I moved to Kentucky and I married a black man.
Okay. Okay.
And that made me realize how bad it really was. I mean, I've
Okay.
seen it on TV. I've seen the riots on TV. I knew that black people and white people didn't like each other, but I was never personally involved with it until I moved to Kentucky and got married to a black man.
Okay. So when you more so got married to your ex, is that your current husband?
No.
Okay. So when you did go ahead and get married to your ex husband, that's when you would say that you started actually yourself going through and experiencing some of the, as far as maybe like segregation from your fellow peers, your white peers, and also maybe some black peers as well.
That's what I realized, that I was the object of racism.
Mm-hmm.
The white people didn't like it that I was with the black man. The black people didn't like it that I was with the black man. But actually, the black people were more accepting. It didn't take them as long to get used to me or used to the situation as it did the white people.
Okay.
I've been fired from jobs.
Mm.
I've been called the N-word.
They called you.
Yeah.
They called you actually the N word.
They call me an N-lover.
Okay. 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 And I did hear you say that your stepmother and your father were racist when you were living in Detroit. Did that ever sort of, I know you said it didn't stick with you, but did it ever, influence you in any type of way to either, try to stay with their judgment or move further away from it?
No, it made me not want to be like them.
Okay. It didn't affect the way you saw any of your colored peers, correct?
No, not at all.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
I think it made me more accepting because they were so negative. It made me more accepting of other people of different races and different religions and cultures.
Okay, because they were just so negative and just so against anybody else.
Yes. Anybody who wasn't white was not good. Yes.
Okay. So I know that you did say that you experienced these encounters in Detroit and Kentucky. Was there anywhere else that you experienced any of these encounters?
Yeah, in Tallahassee. People are still racist. People are always going to be racist because there's always ignorant people.
Okay.
You're not born that way. You're taught it. Some people like me don't buy into it, but there's a lot of children that do.
Okay.
And their parents teach them how to be racist, and they grow up to be that way, and it's just a shame, but that's the way it is.
Okay. Okay. And you're currently staying in Tallahassee at this moment, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So it's currently still at our present time still around.
Yes, it's around. It's not nearly as bad as it was 30 years ago, 40 years ago, but it's still there. There's still people with Confederate flags, and you don't mix races, and things like that. It's still there, but it's not
Okay.
quite as bad. Some aren't quite as open with it as they used to be.
Okay. Okay. And how would you say your initial feelings toward the integration and segregation were? Were you
I'm glad for it.
were you happy? Were you happy that things were segregated and then integrated, or were you happier when they were segregated?
No, I'm glad that they're integrated. All people need to live together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people should be separated at all.
Good. Okay. Okay. And I did hear you mention during that time that there were some certain things going on in Detroit.
There were the riots of '67.
Okay.
You
Can
had to
you?
get in the house at 6 o'clock. You couldn't go out. They wanted you to stay away from downtown. There was rioting going on, but I was 12 at the time, so I wasn't in Detroit, in the city at that time.
Okay.
So I would have stayed away anyway.
Okay. So most of the riots were happening in the city.
They were in the city.
Okay.
Yes, I was on the outskirts of the city.
Okay. More so less the suburbs.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And you said that there were curfews of 6 o'clock. People couldn't go out past that time. Do you know
Right.
initially what was the reason for the riots?
I don't know exactly what started them.
Could have been a racial issue or a racial.
I would think so. Probably. Like I said, I was 12 years old at the time. I just saw it on TV. But yeah, I'm sure that's a good part of it.
Okay. And were there any police brutality going on at that time?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. You can see it on TV.
Okay. And it was more racially fueled, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And that was during the same time as the riots, correct? Or
That was
no?
1967. That was the riots. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And why did you initially move away from Detroit? Were you looking for? Did you think maybe Kentucky would be a different change of atmosphere as far as with the
I
people
did.
around
I
you?
wanted to get away from Michigan. I was tired of Michigan, and I had a boyfriend that lived in Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
so I went there and moved there.
Okay. Okay. And and that boyfriend was your ex husband, correct? The black man.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
No, 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 no. The black man was my second husband.
Okay.
My first husband was a white man
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
because I didn't get involved with the black people until I moved to Kentucky.
Okay. Was your first husband was he okay with any black people? Or was he racially fueled as well?
I don't think he really cared.
He didn't really care.
I don't think he really cared one way or the other. He was a nice person.
Okay. No,
So
I definitely do understand. Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that is some good experience that you did go through. I definitely do understand that you have a lot of experiences, with Detroit and with segregation and integration, with you actually seeing it firsthand.
Living
Um,
in.
yeah, actually living in it. That is good. So you would say that so out of the three places that you did say that you stayed, where would be the place that you experienced the most segregation and then the most integration?
Segregation, Detroit. Integration, Tallahassee.
Okay. Okay, so you see more of the same, more of everybody getting along, more everybody being as one in Tallahassee.
Yes, and it's just because of how many years it's taken to get this way.
Okay,
Because I was in Kentucky in the 70s, so
it was still a little rough.
yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Well, Miss Barbara, I do thank you so much for this interview. Do you have anything else that you would like to say about segregation or integration, or speak on any more of your experiences during that time in Detroit, Kentucky, or Tallahassee?
No, not really. I don't. I think I about said it all.
Okay. Well, once again, my name was Jamal Carter. I do thank you so much for having this interview with me. And I do thank you so much for your time. I do hope you have a wonderful day today, okay?
Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.